Talking about the exception, look, I'll not get into too much detail here, but you see, they have a lot of metadata. They provide us a lot of metadata in the Snowflake database. So that's rather a Snowflake application here. But this Snowflake database or application contains a well-known account usage schema, okay, where a lot of metadata is saved and exposed through views or table functions, but table functions in most part. Let's just expand this one here, account usage, and let's have a look. Can we find access history? Yeah? Access history, yes, we can find it as a view. Sometimes a lot of these are exposed as functions, and most of the time table functions. But access history, as you can see here, it exposes a lot of a lot of columns. I'll not get in much detail at this time, except that look, for objects modified, you see here, object modified, that's an array. Okay, that's an array, just like other columns that you have here in this view. But you can extract this array, yeah, like here, and then look, you say table flatten. Okay, flatten is another built-in function in Snowflake. Uh, and flatten will basically explode an array. OMS here is it's an array. This will be exploded here. And let's call this OM. And further, we look at OM value. These are the elements of the array. Okay. What I did here is just to complicate it a bit more. I would say where the size of the array contains, yeah, the array contains more than one element, and let's just limit to the 10 result entries. Yeah. Be careful when you run this one because this may consume credits. Yeah, if you're in a paying account, and yeah, this kind of view could get quite large and could return or could scan a lot of data. Yeah, I checked before. For me, in this case, it's still acceptable, but as you can see, it still took a few minutes. Yeah, if I look at the results here, you can see, yeah, the query ID is the same here. Let's say for the first 4 rows, so I have the same array, yeah, basically the same OMS array, and I expect it to contain 4 different elements. Yeah, if you look here, yeah, that's my array here, and this would be the first element, and yeah, that's a large one, and so on. Yeah, I'll not get into too much details, but at the end, yeah, definitely I have you see, individual array elements, yeah, exploded basically, yeah, flattened, or how can I say, unnested. And why I refer to this one? To show you that basically table with flatten is equivalent to lateral and with flatten in this case. Yeah, it's very equivalent. If you execute this query, let's do it as well. You'll see that you always get the same result, and this is important for JSON. If you do JSON processing, you'll encounter this kind of questions about flatten at certification exams and so on. So try to get very familiar with the flatten function. In this case, for us here, what's important to remember is when you wrap a table function call, yeah, with table, and this depends, yeah, the result depends on something of a table expression that you specify before, yeah, in the form clause. This is very similar to what we had before with a lateral join with a subquery on the right side, yeah, basically. And that's another typical usage for the lateral keyword. Okay, so these are equivalent, but look at the way you specify lateral. Okay, it's very interesting. It's not a wrapper. Lateral is not a function. You specify it as a prefix. Okay, table is a function. You pass flatten OMS within parentheses. You don't do the same for lateral. But just remember this because it's important. You'll see a lot of use cases where people use either lateral flatten or table flatten. Both expressions are equivalent. I hope this help you clarify the different usage of table, yeah, in Snowflake, because maybe you encounter different table in used in different ways. You encounter this for sure when you created, altered, dropped a table. Yeah, in this case, yeah, definitely that's a keyword which is used in a specific statement. Yeah, SQL statement, create table. Okay, used very frequently. But I'm pretty sure chances are you are not familiar with a table name, yeah, which is equivalent to select everything from name, yeah, where name is a table, yeah, or this could be a view name, yeah. So I think this works in a very similar manner. So that's a shortcut for select everything from. Okay, and then you have this table with a literal, yeah. Literal is a string value, and you have to pass here definitely a table name, and I think this works as well with a view name, just like before, yeah. And we've seen that this is to return all table rows, and usually when you call this, you call it from clause, okay, because it's the table, it's because of the multiplicity. Every table function it returns multiple rows, not a scalar value, okay. So you cannot use it usually in the select clause, let's say. And yeah, this is equivalent, as we've seen in this case, with identifier. You can call identifier. However, for identifier, you can pass here a column name, and this will work. Yeah, you're not forced to always pass a table name. Okay, so identifier, let's say, is more generic. Yeah, it's is used in more other cases. Okay, but then you see that you also have the table function, yeah, which is a special function, is a wrapper, actually, a required wrapper for any function, table function call. Okay, so if you have a table function, you call it, usually in the from clause, it's mandatory to wrap it also into a table call. Okay. Yeah, I know it's confusing, and I just explained to you that this might be redundant. I mean, there's just something that we could get rid of it, at the logical level, and yeah, this should work. We shouldn't have this here, but yeah, for whatever reason, Snowflake decided to keep it. We've seen then a particular use case for this table, and we came up with an example for table flatten, yeah, preceded by another table expression. Yeah. So table flatten, yeah, flatten in this case is using, yeah, as a parameter something that you declare before. And what you have in this case is what people call a lateral join. And this can be expressed also with lateral as a prefix. Eh, we'll discuss more about this, but you see that in this case, lateral is not a new type of join. The join that you use here with a comma is actually a cross join. We used before a lateral join with a subquery on the right side, yes, with a left join. So yeah, remember this. That's why lateral is used this way. It's a keyword, it's a prefix here. Yeah, it's not a function, and it's not a different kind of join, because you'll have to add comma before in this case if you use a cross join. Yeah, because the matching condition is provided by the reference that you pass within flatten here. The first argument is a field of the table expression that you selected before.